I didn't come back with expectations. That's what I told myself on the flight, somewhere between the second plastic meal tray and the slow dimming of cabin lights. After 3 years abroad, I imagined the return as something neutral, familiar streets, familiar noise, familiar routines waiting where I had left them. Jet lag has a strange way of softening reality. The taxi ride from the airport felt slightly unreal, like watching someone else's memories through glass. Same roads, same intersections, even the same faded billboard near the turn to my neighborhood. But something was wrong. Not dramatically wrong. Not the kind that announces itself. Just a quiet, creeping misalignment. When the car stopped, I didn't recognize the house immediately. The paint was different. A darker shade, freshly done. The hedges trimmed in a way my brother would never bother with. For a moment, I genuinely wondered if the driver had made a mistake. I checked the number. Checked the street. Checked again. My suitcase felt heavier as I stepped out. There was a car in the driveway I didn't recognize. A small, practical sedan. The porch light was on. I stood there longer than necessary. Then I rang the bell. The man who opened the door smiled politely, the way strangers do when they sense confusion.
Yes.
I think. My voice felt oddly detached. I think you're in my house. The smile faded. There was that pause, the universal human hesitation when something stops making sense. I'm sorry? This is Hort Tui, right?
Yes.
I live here. His expression shifted from confusion to something closer to concern. Oh. That single syllable carried weight. Mom, he said gently, what bought this house? My brain rejected the sentence outright. Bought. 3 months ago. No shock, no cinematic collapse. Just a strange, hollow quiet inside my chest. I nodded slowly, as if he had given me directions rather than dismantled my reality. Thank you, I said. I walked back to the sidewalk without fully feeling my legs. The world didn't spin. That would have been easier. Instead, everything felt unnervingly stable. I called my brother. He answered on the 3rd ring. You're back already. What happened to my house? Silence. Not nervous. Not defensive. Just amused. Oh, he said. That! I cashed out. The phrase landed with surreal absurdity. Relax. Relax. My grip tightened around the phone. You sold my house. It wasn't just your house. I could hear the television in the background. Some sports commentary, casual and indifferent. It was a family asset. The words didn't come from him, they came from my mother. Her voice sharp, sudden, unmistakably irritated. Oh my God, she snapped. Stop being greedy. I stared at the unfamiliar car still sitting in the driveway. You sold my house. I repeated, slower now. No one sold your house. My mother said, one made a decision. We? You weren't even here. A W-D-E-O-C. Legally, she said, things are more complicated than you think. That sentence. That careful, rehearsed sentence. Something shifted internally. Not rage, not yet. Clarity. Cold, uncomfortable clarity. What did you do? I asked. A pause. A different silence this time. You're overreacting, my brother said. I ended the call. My hands were trembling, but my thoughts felt unnervingly precise. Memory began rearranging itself. Old conversations about paperwork. About managing things while you're gone. About temporary authorizations. Trust has a way of disguising itself as convenience. I walked to the neighbor's gate. Mrs. Alvarez looked genuinely surprised to see me. Oh, you're back. What happened to my house? Her expression changed immediately, that flicker of discomfort people can't quite hide. Oh, there it was again. That same small, devastating syllable. I thought you knew. They said everything was agreed. They, not we, not you. They, I thanked her, walked back to the sidewalk. And for the first time, I felt it, not anger, violation. Deep structural violation. I called the police. The dispatcher's voice was calm, procedural, almost soothing. Can you describe the situation? My family sold my house. A pause. Without your authorization? Yes. Do you have documentation of ownership? Wes, please wait at the location. Waiting felt surreal. The new owners stayed inside. Curtains slightly parted. The patrol car arrived quietly. No sirens. No spectacle. Just authority rendered in ordinary form. 2 officers stepped out. Professional, neutral, I explained. They listened, not with sympathy, with attention. That difference mattered. Documents were examined. Names checked. Records pulled. The conversation shifted into language that felt unfamiliar but definitive. Forgery. Fraudulent transfer. Unauthorized sale. Words with weight. When my brother arrived, his confidence walked ahead of him. "Officer, this is a misunderstanding." My mother followed. Visibly irritated. "We're family," she said, as if that were a legal category. One officer's posture changed, subtly, but unmistakably. "Ma'am," he said evenly, "this is now a criminal matter." Silence. Real silence this time. The kind that empties rooms. My brother's expression faltered first, then my mother's. Casual entitlement meeting institutional reality. There was no dramatic confrontation, no shouting, just procedure. Statements taken, information recorded, next steps outlined. By the time they were speaking with the officers separately, something inside me had settled. Not satisfaction. Distance. A strange, irreversible distance. Later, sitting alone in a cafe I used to visit years ago, I replayed the afternoon without embellishment. No veros. Just patterns. Assumptions. Boundaries ignored long before they were crossed. People like to imagine betrayal as explosive. But often, it's administrative. Paperwork. Signatures. Quiet decisions made in your absence. My phone buzzed repeatedly. I didn't look at it. Outside, the city moved exactly as it always had. Unconcerned. Unchanged. For the first time since landing, everything felt sharply real. Not because I had lost a house, but because I had finally seen the structure I'd been standing inside my entire life.